his home on Thursday and was transported to a hospital in Pittsburgh. Today, he released photos of his injury, saying he had 20 stitches and is now back home. The senator says that he had ventricular fibrillation flare-up that led to him feeling lightheaded and falling to the ground. Fetterman, as we know, has a history of health problems. He was diagnosed with AFib in 2017, suffered a stroke in 2022, and fell into depression shortly after being sworn into office in February.
Wow. This man really posted this picture. And this proves something right here. God bless Senator Fetterman. Y'all put some love in the comment section. And again, we are wishing and praying for a speedy recovery towards Senator Fetterman. He's all smiles. And this is what life is about, man. Whether we agree or disagree, no matter what side of politics that you are on, no matter if you believe in this or believe in the boogeyman, we should all come together in moments like this, man. It's one love to the human race. Roll that intro.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey.
Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. And you try to kill we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Hell, is that Senator Hoodie? Senator Hoodie, and I know he ain't holding up that ice mocha. Is that an ice mocha latte? Does it look like that ice mocha? Y'all know I love my coffee now. Y'all know Rick love his coffee. I know one of the brothers holding up an ice mocha now. I know. Is that an ice caramel mocha? Is that a mocha latte? Caramel latte? He might not. That might just be a lot of cream and sugar. All right, Senator Hoodie. But you can see his face there, man. Wow. And he still has a smile on his face, man. You know, and that brings me to my next point of, you know, of seeing where we're at in this country, man, and seeing, you know, what we have on both sides. And it's just been good versus evil, right versus wrong, you know, and even seeing people on his side, you know, and that lean towards his policy, lean towards his way, seeing those people on that side even come out and still wish death on this man, because he's been probably the only Democrat with just a little bit of sense, you know. And we know he's come out and called out his party, called out the left, the violence, called out the Trump derangement syndrome. We should tone down. He said we should tone down the rhetoric. We should tone down the gaslighting, the fear mongering, the fascist and Nazi crap, you know. And people on his side are, you know, coming out saying, I hope you can go look on X and see of them saying all kind of evil things. We hope he should have passed away. He should have died. All kind of nasty stuff. And you're seeing the other side and conservatives and MAGA and people on this side lifting this man up in prayer, praying for him, praying for a speedy recovery. And y'all know that's the first thing we did when we showed you guys the news of the breaking news of him being hospitalized. The first thing we did was lift Senator Fetterman up in prayer, man. You know, again, agree to disagree, man. You know, we don't have to politic everything, politicize everything, you know. But that's the times that we're living in, man. Where if you don't see eye to eye with someone, you know, you wish them, you're praying, you're wishing for their downfall, for them to be harmed, for them to even be unalived, you know. And I know y'all hate the unalive word. I'm sorry, family. They say, Rick, stop all that woke crap. Call it for what it is, Rick. I don't want to hear unalived again. All right, family, chill. Them Patriots don't be playing with me, man. Them Patriots be on my butt, man. That's why I love y'all, man. I actually read my comment section. And I think that's the best part about being, you know, on this platform and being at this certain level, you know. And there's some that don't read their comments, and there's some who could care less about you guys. But I care about you guys, man. Even if, you know, you're saying the worst things, you know. Oh, Rick, I don't like this. Rick, I don't like this. Rick, you spelled it wrong. Rick, you have great titles and stuff. And then if you're not clickbaiting, Rick, and I like your clickbait sometimes, but when you're not clickbaiting, Rick, you don't know how to spell. You misspelled this, Rick. Go back to school. They be on my butt in the comment section, but then they be still showing me love, man. They say, Rick, I know this and that, but I still love you. And I want to say that I still love you guys too, man. You know, oh boy, that's one thing I love about you guys, man. I love the family on this platform and the family that we've built, man. No matter what side you lean on, no matter if you're liberal, conservative, Democrat, Republican, no matter what your skin color is or where you come from, you know, that we all can just love one another, man, you know, and call it out for what it is. And hell, everybody sick of all these politicians and sick of Washington and sick of, you know, the whole swamp, man. People, you know, that's why we want to drain it, you know, get the government out of our lives, you know. And there's a reason why there's a lot of Trumpers that said enough is enough, man. And even people that don't even like Trump or, you know, don't even like getting involved in politics and still wanted out and voted for President Trump. We've seen a lot of those. You know, it's a lot of those people on part of the family on this channel, you know. But people are just sick of all this crap, sick of all the corruption, you know. And here we are, though, man. And the violence, you know, the fake news media, people are sick of it all, you know. But we wanted to get into this. Senator Fetterman coming out, and he did say he would share a picture of him, and he is in good spirits. He says 20 stitches later, a full recovery. I'm back home with his wife and kids. I'm overwhelmed and profoundly grateful for all the well wishes. Truly grateful for the incredible medical care that put me back together. Thank you so much. See you back in DC. And he's holding up look like a coffee. And he has a smile on his face so you can see his bruising, you know, and injury. And there it is, man. You know, Senator Hoodie is what I call him. He still got that hoodie on too in the picture. Still has that god doggone hoodie on. Yes, indeed. You know, you just can't make this up, man. You just can't. He done went on CNN, MSNBC, you know, Fox. He done went on every podcast. I mean, he done went everywhere. He done went to my grandma's house, my auntie house-in-law, you know, with his new book, and has been calling out the Democrat Party every single day. And he's, you know, said that we should own the shutdown and that it should be country over party, you know. And look at Mr. Carville. Look what he said about Fetterman.
Can I tell you another huge mistake of your party? Not listening to Senator John Fetterman. That is the single smartest guy you have in your party. He doesn't hate. He says it like it is.
If John Fetterman is the smartest person in the Democratic Party, the Democratic Party is in really, really, really deep trouble.
Oh, wow.
Really deep trouble.
Yeah, the Democrat Party really is actually been in deep trouble. And that's why a lot of people are done with the Democrat Party, sir.
Hey, we'll take Senator Fetterman over here. We'll have him. We got a Big Ten over here.
If I want to listen to somebody from Pennsylvania Democratic Party, I will listen to Governor Josh Shapiro every day, 7 days a week.
Yeah, you just can't make that up. You just can't.
Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman, he had another health scare this week. A statement from his spokesman says he fell near his home on Thursday and was transported to a hospital in Pittsburgh. Today, he released photos of his injury, saying he had 20 stitches and is now back home. The senator says that he had ventricular fibrillation flare-up that led to him feeling lightheaded and falling to the ground. Fetterman, as we know, has a history of health problems. He was diagnosed with AFib in 2017, suffered a stroke in 2022, and fell into depression shortly after being sworn into office in February 2023. Okay, let's go to the doctor on this show at this point. So is this something to be concerned about this fall, or was it just something that randomly happened and we shouldn't be so concerned about it?
Well, it's going to keep happening. He could have made my book as a medical miracle, my new miracles book.
Yeah.
He almost did, actually.
Why is that?
Well, because he has a compilation of recoveries each time his life is at risk, and he almost develops kind of a zen to it, his approach. He's getting more used to it. And he has like one day at a time. I'm living one day at a time. He overcame his depression. He overcame his stroke. You know, he's much more open now about his views. Have you noticed? He's pro-Israel.
A little bit, yeah.
He's working with the Republicans. He's really changed because of all these near-death experiences. But the medical side of this I want to address for a minute. Mm-hmm. It's his heart. He has heart failure because his pump isn't what it was. And because of that, he's prone to these what we call arrhythmias. You mentioned two of them, atrial fibrillation and now ventricular fibrillation. Mm-hmm. Ventricular fibrillation means that the heart just starts to quiver. It's a killer. The reason it didn't kill him is because he has an implantable defibrillator, which shocks him back. It works 98% of the time. That's why I call this a medical miracle. It's a miracle of his faith, which he has a lot of. He's very spiritual, but also...
And again, prayer. Y'all put love in the comment section for me for Senator Fetterman, man. Put some love and prayers in the comment section for John Fetterman.
Medical reality has changed to where we can put things like this into someone's body and they work 98% of the time, and brought him back, shocked him back to regular rhythm. And that's why you see that fall. That's why you see the stitches, but it was his heart. His heart, he has heart failure.
He's a big guy, right? He's probably something like 6'5", 200, probably about 50 pounds. I mean, that obviously plays a part here as well.
Well, when you go down, yeah. You mean no, it doesn't play a part in the heart problem. It plays a part if you take a fall like that. Mm-hmm. Mehmet Oz was saying that to me the other day after he saved that guy at the White House. He's one of the top cardiac surgeons in history, Dr. Oz, believe it or not. We know him in all these other ways. Oz said it's the fall that gets you, not even the thing that causes the fall. The defibrillator saved his heart. The big worry with a man that size is when he goes down.
Mary Catherine.
Yeah. First of all, I've never been more delighted to be wrong about a politician than how wrong I was about Fetterman. I think they still should have been more honest on the trail about what his condition was when he ran, but he has been so fun to watch recover and to embrace life in these ways, and I'm always hoping the best for him in all of his recoveries. Also, I love that he can put up that picture and it improves his brand. Which very few people can claim. But yeah, he's been so fun to watch, and I do think that his health problems have changed the way he views life and the way he views politics, and it's a different lens perhaps than when he first went in. And I find him so fun to watch just slam whoever he's slamming from day to day.
I think his mental acuity has improved. I really think that the way his mind and his brain are working have improved.
You see it in interviews, obviously.
Yeah.
When you compare him on the campaign trail in 2022 to now, it's night and day. But Tommy, you see on Blue Sky, which is a cesspool, all right, let's call it for what it is, okay, people cheering the fact that he could have actually maybe, had another heart attack or died, quite frankly. We saw it with Charlie Cook. We see it with John Fetterman because, God forbid, he supports Israel and is willing to at least negotiate with Republicans.
And he comes on Fox News a whole lot, which we certainly appreciate him doing, and he actually answers tough questions. I think he's going to be an even sharper politician. Hopefully his health continues to improve, and we wish the best for him. But I think he's going to continue to be an even more impressive politician, and here's why. He is fine with answering questions. He's fine with coming on Fox News. He's challenged. He's able to articulate his viewpoints, and he's challenged on them on Fox News. And I think that makes you better. But there are so many Democrats. We had, of course, Congressman Auchincloss, which we appreciated him coming on, but so many that refuse to be questioned on anything. People look at AOC and they think she's this firebrand. They think that she's the star of the Democrat Party. She's never been challenged. You think she would come on here? You think she would sit down with Martha McCallum? Of course she wouldn't. So I think Senator Fetterman, to your point, he's a joy to watch, and we wish him the absolute best in his health. The left, when their nastiness online, leave him on Blue Sky, whatever the heck that is.
Yeah,
we hope
AOC,
and pray for him. We hope and pray for him. We admire his courage.
Indeed. The C in AOC probably stands for coward because she'll never appear on this network. Anyway, Senator Fetterman made more news this week. He's on tour promoting his new book that exposes the truth behind the so-called tolerant left. Over the course of this year, he's called out his party for becoming too radical and out of touch. Listen.
I mean, for me, it's been very isolating. My kinds of positions are reasonable because I'm not going to follow just the party line. I'm going to think, hey, independently, this is important. My party, they have forgotten one of the reasons why we lost in 2024. Some people think we must become more progressive or more extreme. That's absolutely not true. Some people in my party, some of the lefties, are talking about socialism now. That's the worst thing ever.
But the senator's perfectly reasonable criticism has led to a smear and hate campaign against him.
I asked my digital team, I said, we're on all the platforms, really what's kind of the harshest, what's kind of the most personal? And the answer was immediate. He said, oh, blue sky, it's blue sky. And the difference is, the right would say really rough things and names, some names I won't repeat on TV, but the on the left, it was like they want me to die or that we're cheering for your next stroke.
As we just talked about, he goes on to describe how poisonous the far left is in his book and says Democrats lost the 2024 election because they lied to their voter base about the border crisis. Okay, Tommy.
And more. Border crisis, Joe Biden, inflation. Maybe we go on that one.
Lie. Tony draws.
When you talk about blue sky, that's such a fringe area where people congregate, right? It's a very fringe place. So I wouldn't put too much stake in it if I were Senator Fetterman.
Town.
Yeah, it's crazy town, and let them have it. If they get out there Trump derangement syndrome there and they stay home and do that, better than out in the streets protesting and hurting ICE agents, I suppose. But yeah, Senator Fetterman, I love, though, when he goes on the liberal networks and he talks about how the left treats him, they kind of sit there and you can see that they get uncomfortable because they don't want to call it out, but they well know it too. They know it. They know the way that the left turns on people. And I think that some of the folks on the left are starting to figure this out.
I love the fact, Mary Catherine, that John Fetterman called out Gavin Newsom and Bernie Sanders particularly and said, I don't need to be lectured by these people, right, in deep blue places about how to govern, because they can resist all they want and they will be reelected like AOC in perpetuity if they so choose. In Pennsylvania, you have to appeal to independents and Republicans and Democrats in order to win. I want you to listen to this soundbite here real quick. Here is Fetterman slamming Democrats for shutting down the government.
It was always just country over the party. And now people it never made any sense to shut it down at that point anyway, because now if the Democrats in the Senate now decides in January, you're going to have the opportunity to shut it back down. If a Democrat's not allowed to say, hey, it's wrong, it's always wrong to shut our government down. I think that's pretty reasonable because that used to be our official position on it, honestly.
All right, drop the hammer.
Yeah, his touchstone is the people of Pennsylvania. And if someone like Gavin Newsom would like to be president, he might want to listen to a guy who knows how to talk to the people of Pennsylvania because they're pretty important
the most key
when
state.
It comes to be electing president. But the left won't listen to a Democrat in a purple state with blue collar cred who says you're just fight to give Trump a black eye isn't working for you because they want to fight, and they don't care if they don't get a win out of it. And that is not going to play with the people of Pennsylvania.
Indeed. Mark Siegel, last word.
I think that you have to watch how fluid he is. You know that recovery from a stroke he had, you never recover this late. It's a miracle. And the way he's open to our point of view now and the idea that he's so pro-Israel now, I love this guy. I think he's the most authentic Democrat in the Senate right now.
Indeed.
Principled
and pragmatic. Wow.
Senator,
go figure.
Hey, Sean. Hoodie. Senator Hoodie in the flesh. Yes, indeed, man. Prayers and love to Senator Fetterman in the comments section. And again, praying for a speedy recovery. Good to see that he's in smiles. And just to show that picture and share that picture with everyone, man. It proves the point. It really does. And we're wishing the best. And Senator Fetterman's him and his family's life, man. Again, one love to the human race, y'all. Y'all keep spreading that love. Weigh in with your thoughts, and I will catch y'all on the next one. Peace and love, you guys.